Hello everybody, my name is Sean and welcome back to my channel and welcome to something very, very different for my channel. So this is a podcast, or well, kind of a podcast, but it's just like a little conversation between me and another YouTuber called Boyle Review Productions Entertainment, or BRP Entertainment. His channel will be in the link in the description, go and check him out. He's my brother. He makes great content about rock and metal music. He does gameplay. He's going to start doing Prey, like live streams and stuff. So go and check him out and go and subscribe and press his notification bell so you don't miss out on any of his content. So I just had to explain a little bit before getting into this video. So this is obviously a podcast, but the start of the podcast was completely not usable. The audio was completely screwed in it, so we only have this footage left, so that's fine. But next week or the week after or something, we will have an actual podcast ready, and we'll have the entire thing recorded for you guys. So yeah, so it's a podcast or a conversation, whichever one you want to take it as, and the things said in this video are completely opinion. So if there's anything that you are not happy about, put it down in the comments and we can talk to you about it. So yeah, go and subscribe to him. He'll be in the description, obviously. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I'll see you on the flip side.
It says start recording.
Yeah, just start recording.
You
can record stream.
That's
cool.
Sugar.
Okay.
Right, so let's see.
Right, okay, we'll just pull out the videos together and just see where it goes. But like now I'm just gonna check this upload see what it is. I still got one thing to upload. Because I have to upload it in parts and it never fucking goes. But sorry, I did interrupt you with your video stuff. Go ahead as I'm doing this.
Oh no. Videos. That's the thing. I've not got much planned. Like, I've got a schedule in terms of like I want to get like 2, maybe 3 videos done. But in terms of videos that I actually want to either react to or stuff today, then
well, as I said, we talked about something like you said about God and Seen Horizon. Like, if I was you, I would definitely I was uploading that. I would definitely like either make videos of that stream. Like, I'm pretty sure you can make videos with your Xbox, and then you've got your computer to edit, so it makes it easier for you. You know,
I feel like I'll do an episode of that this week. See how that goes. See if I enjoy the game. And if I do,
it's a game where you've always got a side character. You've always got somebody to talk to. So like, it will help you with the gaming side of things. And I think if you incorporate gaming, more people will come to your channel, because like that's a big thing on YouTube. That's why I was playing. That's why I started playing Spectrum Retreat, apart from just the fact that it's an amazing game, and I think everybody should. Anybody who's into puzzle games, I'm not saying that everybody should go away with it, which is fair. I understand people doing it. It's people let them people doing it. It's just one of the things.
Yeah, it's opinions.
But so I think I'm going to stream Prey this week because I've got the game there, and I'm just thrilled. And I enjoyed it when I first played it. I thought it's a very good game for like either streaming or just recording in general, because there's a lot of jump scare. It's very horror based. I'm a big fan of horror, and I don't think horror is done right anymore. Like, there's SCP stuff out there that would blow people's minds. Like, if that was a movie. So I don't know. Should say.
Well,
but
was it
this week I'm starting my Underappreciated Friday. That's what I'm going to call it. I think that's a snappy enough title, but maybe it will work. I also turn away the intro from the video because I don't actually like it. No, the fact I didn't like the intro. I like the intro a lot. I just don't like it starting it. I like the video just starting. Because it means I can do stuff like I did with the first Spectrum Retreat, and I can have that like started front stage right away. But I still got the outro. Do like the outro a lot. Still trying to work out what's best. Like, if I'm watching it, I don't think the intro's too long. It's maybe too drawn out. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
See, that's a great thing about starting it, like, though, because when I started it, obviously, you do something. If you think you've not done it right, it changes, then it changes, then it changes. Then you evolve into like the best like YouTuber, streamer, whatever you can be, and then you just keep getting better. And it's great.
That's fair. Right, and now on to the what was call it bullshit politics side of things, because it needs to be talked about. The fact that people will still refuse to wear a mask, which has been a thing since fucking like July last year. I wear it and sometimes forget that I'm wearing it now. Like I keep because I've got the snoot, so I just keep it on. Like it's nuts.
Whenever I leave the house, because it's winter now, obviously, I wear the mask. It keeps you warm. It keeps you warm and it keeps you safe. I didn't understand what people like have against it. I didn't ken the thing that people like hate about it.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a sore subject as well. We're dealing with a pandemic now. Everything's kind of a part around us. Is this really the right time to be talking about Scottish independence again?
Exactly.
I don't see as a thing. This time I don't disagree with it. I think like after England fucked us out, it's maybe something to be looked at. No, they're not. Just like Brexit should not be the thing to look at now.
Like I get it has to be talked about again, but as you said, no, they're not. Like wait until we're out of this pandemic and then see how our economy goes, because we can't go independent with the economy that we've got now. We turn into Greece.
Worse when we come back.
Literally.
Like it goes away if it goes away. Like the economy is just going to be worse now.
Literally, we're going to turn into Greece if we go independent. The new, like we're going to go bankrupt and we're going to have to crawl back to England, and then England's going to be like, well, it's going to be on our terms, and it's it's a big.
It's right. I actually seen there was actually a petition to take down the thick of it off BBC, and I fucking laughed because I was like, it's a show for like 2007, I believe. Some that time, so it's old. It's like people who attack Tropic Thunder now. Like,
it was like the Pogues, the Fairy Tale in New York. That song's been out for decades, and they're like, it says one word in it. Take it down.
And then there's the fucking thing where TV shows have politics for it. So Doctor Who's ruined me, by the way. Like literally ruined. They cannot say it. Chris Chibnall decided what they were going to do is, so there's an episode called The Timeless Children. I think it was pretty much the finale for the last season. I've not watched it, but there is a guy on YouTube I've been watching called Critical Drinker. He gives like honest reviews of everything and tells you if it's shit or not. He's Scottish as well, by the way. Very, very good YouTuber. Definitely check him out. To you and to your followers and to my followers. Definitely. Very entertaining. Doesn't pull his punches, so you may get offended, you may get pissed off at what he says, but it's just what it is. Very much takes these attacks at Brie Larson, but who doesn't? Like I seen the interview with her and Jeremy Renner, and he's literally like, I can't express it, but he's like rolling his eyes, trying to get away as much as possible for her while she's talking about herself, which is hilarious. But like, get back to the Doctor Who thing. It was called Timeless Children. And so the Master is back again, but this time he's fucking ridiculous and really not cool at all. And they go to Gallifrey because, why the fuck no? But before that, there's this wee lassie standing outside a fucking portal. Because he sort of go to Gallifrey, she puts her in this thing called the Matrix or something, which is weird because I have heard of it before. During one of Capaldi's episodes, there was definitely something said about Matrix, and so I'm guessing it's the same thing. Except then it was something completely different, and knew it's something completely different. It doesn't link up whatsoever. There's no ties. It's just something made up. But so yeah, so the go to Gallifrey puts her in this Matrix, so it gets inside her head, and somehow shows up her past, because somehow she and he is both in this fucking scene together as well, even though it's her brain. But So they go all the way back to the start of like Gallifrey. There's this wee girl standing next to a portal, and there's this woman finds her and takes her back to Gallifrey. And then I didn't watch the episode, so all I got next was that she falls off a cliff after fighting, but then she doesn't die, she regenerates. So here we go. So this woman's like, oh, that's interesting. Puts her in this chair and repeatedly murders her and forces her to regenerate over and over and over again. Then they use that energy to create the Time Lords. So I was like, what? And then, to make matters worse, there's a bit where it's asked, who is the little girl in this situation? The one that's created the Time Lords. And the Master looks forward at the Doctor and goes, the child is you. And I'm like, so the Doctor created the Time Lords, Gallifrey, made everything what it was. Even though I can remember episodes where Capaldi was the one on Gallifrey when he goes back after the fall, been stuck in the confession dial, and the president literally says to him, how many regenerations did we grant you? So I'm like, it doesn't make sense. How much times did they talk about the initiation to become the Time Lord? I don't understand. They gave that regeneration power to them, and then they turned it off her, and then waited till she was a certain age or he was a certain age, and then gave her back.
It back.
And then it gets worse, by the way. It gets worse. Because the Cybermen are back again.
Obviously.
One of the Cybermen is able to have a full heat inside the helmet now, which was never a thing before. It was the brain that got extracted and put inside the cell, but whatever.
Sure.
He invites them to come to Gallifrey, and the Cyberman's got a death particle that can destroy all life in the universe, just sitting in his chest.
Oh, aye, bro.
So
makes sense.
What? This is why I'm not reviewing TV shows, Doctor Who, or movies, because this is where it will go, because it's all politics based. And so he shrinks him because the Cyberman's no willing to cooperate. I guess he gets death particle. Don't know. But his master scheme is to put the bodies of dead Time Lords into cyber suits to create an army of cyber Time Lords. And I'm not joking about that. A professional writer thought that was a good idea for national television.
A 6-year-old would write that.
It looks as goofy as it fucking sounds. So remember the Time Lords have the big collars? They have a Cyberman in the collar behind and in a far.
A 6-year-old would write that.
Exactly.
Literally.
And so I'm done with it. It can't be saved now. You've literally changed canon where it cannot be unchanged now. And there's rumours for the BBC that the show might be getting cancelled.
Oof.
As in
bad.
Yeah, as in pulling funding.
My God.
For a show that used to be staple in British television, even if you don't like it, even if you've never seen it, you can't exactly what it is.
You can't what it is.
Oh, it's like what, 57, 58 years old?
Something like that,
Just hit the 50th anniversary not long ago. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, there. And it's all due to politics. It's just all due to politics. I can't watch anything anymore. I watched a review in Dark Fate, the Terminator movie. Because Genesis was enough. And I don't understand where people think it's a good idea, like the Predator movie, that one that came out a couple of years ago. It's terrible.
What's the point?
Terrible.
Why could they not just leave films where they left off, where it was finished?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what got hit worse, the Predator franchise or the Alien franchise, because there's Covenant and then there's Prometheus, and that's a kettle of fish I really don't want to get into, because that was bad. I was watching it. Well, I mean, Alien 3 wasn't great either, and Alien versus Predator was a cash grab. So it just sucks that every movie I loved now is ruined by modern equivalents to it. Like, did you not say there's apparently a second fucking Face-Off coming? Why?
Oh no! Why?
That movie doesn't need a second part. It's a one-off.
Exactly. It's the premise of the film is literally in the title. Face off. Their faces come off the switch bodies, and that's the film. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
what do you need to do that again? Who else has got to do it?
I don't know, honestly.
Oh,
But like, it sucks watching stuff that I like loved and I used to be passionate about just go down the drain. So
yeah.
it sucks. It just sucks. And video games are getting the same fucking treatment. Like Last of
Yeah.
Us 2. That's the thing.
Oh,
It might be a good game, but it's forced so much politics down everybody's throat. That's why
Yeah.
people don't like it.
and I
Like,
feel like games now, the big games are getting way too much hype. So then you're going into the game going, "Oh, this has got to be amazing," and then it wasn't what you expected.
yeah,
So then it,
look, look at the remake of fucking Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Mhm.
The original game is amazing. It has its problems, fair enough. Every game
Mhm.
did. But that's due to like graphics and not being able to do much for what you had
Yeah.
at the time.
Mhm.
Or not having any day, but having like you very bare minimum with stuff.
Yeah.
But then they've done the Resident Evil 2 remake. It was amazing. It once again had its problem, but it was a good game. And then
Yeah.
they started saying, "Oh, we're doing work on Resident Evil 3," and they cut out so much content that it should have just been DLC for 2.
Mhm.
Honestly, asking people to pay another 60 quid to
For
buy
half a game.
exactly that's it. They've taken it. Well, I mean, they take out the church tower scene where
Mhm.
they take out all
Yeah.
of that. They take out the things that were actually in the swamp. They've added bits in, but it's bad. Like you're only in Raccoon City for for 15 minutes total, and then
Yeah.
you're then there's like a full on like the third person shooter sort of action scene and the infirmary with Carlos. Which I understand that Resident Evil at that point, in Resident Evil 3, were moving towards the action side of things, but it still had a
Yeah.
survival horror. Whereas
Yeah.
and also Nemesis used to be impossible to avoid, and in this
Mhm.
one you can walk stuff. Like it sucks for a game that was so good for the time.
Yeah.
Like, because I knew, so then we're talking about obviously the remake of Resident Evil 4 possibly being a thing, and I'm like, that's like the best Resident Evil game to date for everybody. That's where it went to a different place, but it was also good.
Yeah.
And also Resident Evil 8 just looks like Resident Evil 4 anyway, so why would you bother remaking it? Why
And
not
that's
make
just,
why not make remake games that were amazing? Just that's the thing. Like I don't care about one enemy remakes. I don't care if I just want remasters now. Because what I see the day with remakes, it's not good enough.
there's no
It's just
point.
but
I
and then and the question now. Did you see the Godzilla versus Kong trailer?
I did, and I didn't understand why. Is that not already happened? Did we
No.
not do that?
It still happened. And to be honest, I was looking forward to it. If they'd done it properly, whereas they didn't. Because at the start, it's clearly Mechagodzilla that's running through the city because I can see there it is. And then for some reason, Kong grew to the size of Godzilla. Kong used to be able to climb the Empire State Building, and Godzilla was the size of the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Like, so what is this? And also, why does it look like Godzilla getting his ass kicked in the movie when he would clearly destroy Kong within seconds? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then, like, the whole, like, trying to make him the Godzilla, the evil, bad one. Like, Godzilla was never bad or good, but I never seen him as evil or bad.
He was
Like,
just
instead of they
Godzilla.
have to have a hero. And I can exactly what's going to happen. And this is on air. So if this happens, I fucking told everybody so. It's going to happen the same way as all big monster movies or versus movies happens. We remember Batman versus Superman. We never actually got Batman versus Superman. They ended up teaming up in the end anyway. So what's going to happen is Kong's going to come to, I think, I can't mind where the fuck it is. That's how much I paid attention. Like, I can't tell if it's in New York or Tokyo. Yeah, but...
That's good. That's a good film, man.
Okay,
My
exactly.
God.
So Kong's coming to the island. As I said, he's now grew to the size of Godzilla somehow, just
For
randomly
some reason.
by chance. So that's going to happen. They're actually going to probably have a fist fight because there's talks in the trailer about there was an ancient war and these two are the only survivors. And then I'm like, well, Godzilla King of Monsters had shit tons of them. So how are the only survivors? Like clearly they're not. Mothra is still around. Like, and I understand. So, like, what's going to happen is they're going to have a big battle scene that's
Oh,
went-
yeah,
went on
you cut off. I never clicked that thing. Anyway,
I mean, technical difficulties, we're going to get them. It
Yep.
feels unique to have technical difficulties and stuff that I've never done before. It's really something. But get back to what I was saying. So, like, another thing I'm not funny is the fact that every monster movie now has to have a human female or whatever child that the animals can like interact with. There's a wee lassie in the one where she starts with Kong's finger, and people are saying that she's from Skull Island, and I've watched Skull Island and I don't remember her, and I don't understand how any human can communicate with these tyrants, which is basically what they are. Like
because
L,
I'm sorry,
L
if that
was
was
that?
that, oh,
Yep,
aye, was it? If that happened, like a wee lassie stood in front of Kong, she would die. She'd get stood on.
yeah, because he calms down when he sees children. You know what I mean?
Oh, aye, of course.
But Godzilla, um, like Elf from Stranger Things, I don't know her name. I did not care to learn it in King of Monsters. But she's like somehow can commune with Godzilla, and I don't understand how, because he's a god. He's literally a god. Like I don't understand. Yeah. I'll take the time of my day and I'll listen to this child and see what I'm meant to do. I understand. I don't
Let me
understand
stop fighting this big monkey for one. Let me stop fighting this big bastard monkey that's trying to kill me and talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what's going to happen is they're going to have a big battle scene at the start, and then they're going to hear word that Mechagodzilla's here, and it's bigger and badder than both of them. They need to team up to take it out. They'll fight it, and they'll fail the first time, and then they need to go back to the human counterparts to get the inflation to or the motivation to beat it, and then they beat it, and then at the end we have a tease that the Godzilla versus Kong 2 is coming, where they actually fight each other. I wrote that down. So if that happens, every single one of you owe me something because I told you. I fucking told you. I know what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen.
Aye, because it happens all the time.
They've made it too easy for people to like. Horror films are the same. Me and Sophie were talking about this the other day, and we were talking about how the fact that The Nun is a really good movie, right until the end where they gave her a personality and she starts laughing.
Yep.
She's moving a demon.
I remember watching that film with you, funny enough, and we were watching it all the way through, and it was great. And then the ending, we were like, "Oh, was that it? Is that how it ended?"
That's where the logic comes to that.
Yeah,
I don't get it. But like, yeah, it's just it's unfortunate because there is like really good horror movies out there. Do we remember Sinister? I mean, Sinister 1, not 2. But Sinister 1, really unique story. I worked out quite early in what was going on, and I want to say what happens in the film because people watching this might not have seen it. Maybe going to watch it like the day. They were really like spoilers. I do like spoiler free kind of but like it was very unique, and even though I watched it what was going on, I still enjoyed it. It was very
exactly.
And it was off-centered, and it wasn't your typical like jump scare comes new and then jump in. Like it was really really good. And then you go to Sinister 2, and I don't know why they did what they did in Sinister 2, but they did it. Like, and everybody wanted to crucify me because I said Sinister was better than Insidious, and it is. It is. It's got a problem with that. It is better.
Man, starting fights their podcasts.
No, but like I don't care what people say. It's a better movie. Insidious genuinely didn't get me at all. Like they're like, oh, but what about the Red Room and whatever? I was like, it was a cool concept for 20 seconds, and then it got boring. It's the same shit I've seen before. We'll make the house haunted. No, we'll make the person that stays in the house haunted. It's like the paranormal stuff. Also, that's another thing. That's one of the biggest things. My problem with horror movies right now. Why do horror movies nowadays have to be supernatural? Why isn't they monsters? Why isn't they like?
I don't understand that.
Has anybody seen The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, where the guy literally transforms into a fly? It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The best horror movie ever created still is The Thing. Now we'll stand by the words because. And it shows where we should never have went to special effects. We should have just stuck with practical effects because it works. It looks gross because it's meant to look gross. You know what I mean? I don't know. What's that?
My live stream stopped, but it's alright. You're still recording, so we're
Yes,
good.
I'm still recording this, so I'll piece together what I've
Yeah.
got. And
Yeah.
I'll put it up. Like, just have to make cuts at bits where the cameras and that cut out. Okay,
Yeah.
for next time. Screen. We'll just
Yeah.
record the full thing on Skype and then post it.
On Skype,
Probably. But we didn't think we could do that.
exactly.
That means I can get the shit out of my phone because clearly it doesn't work. Although, if we did get the full version, it would stream
I
everything.
would stream
Which is
everything.
fantastic. The fact there is an app that does that.
Yep.
But like, yeah, like as I said to yourself the other day, I don't feel like I'm going to watch modern films anymore because I genuinely feel like everything's going to get spoiled. Like if they were to do like a remake of, they're technically dead, but if they were to do like a remake of the Watchmen movie, no, the Watchmen movie wasn't perfect because I've seen, like, I've got through the comics, I've still got 3 to get, and there's no fucking way you can make a movie that incorporates everything that's in the 4 or 5 books. It's impossible. It's impossible. Even with the 3-year director's cut, which I've watched, and it's amazing. They get more of the bits in, but there's still bits missing because you're not going to get it all. They would change that so stuff didn't offend people. Like, that movie is not like, people didn't like that movie because they went and think it was going to be a superhero movie. It is not. It's very much a story. If superheroes were real, would you want them to exist? And the problem is, no. And I'd say The Boys takes a lot. Faye Watchmen, the comic and the film. And the comic, for everybody who's watching, who doesn't care, if you've watched The Boys, you know it's set in America. But The Boys, actually, the main plot it starts in is in Scotland. The start of the comic is in Scotland. They go back to Scotland quite a bit. It's a very Scottish designed comic. So now watching The Boys, I've only watched a couple of episodes in the first season because I found out it was comics. Now, it's Garth Ennis who wrote them. Garth Ennis created Preacher. And as much as the show didn't live up to expectations with that comic, it was still better than like Walking Dead and stuff. It was the closest you were going to get to an actual adaptation to TV. But Garth Ennis writes some of the best graphic novels I've ever read. So when I seen that he wrote The Boys, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll stop watching the show and I'll read the comics. And then when I said it was in Scotland, I was enjoying it there. So I didn't even know if I'm going to go back to the show because it's just one of the things. Like, I don't know if the comics is just better in every way. It possibly is. But like, yeah, it's modern TV. It sucks. TV should be getting better, not worse. But the problem is, politics is plaguing literally everything that happens. There's like, I know how much people didn't like Trump and how much people and movies and TV wanted to incorporate that. I don't understand why. Like, I get it, but you know the only thing happening. You know what I mean? There's a movie coming out on Amazon. It's got Jared Butler in it, and it's basically a remake of 2012, which is basically a remake of Deep Impact. So does that mean every 10 years we're going to get a disaster movie where the Earth gets destroyed? And I understood, like, I watched the trailer for it, and then we went back and watched the trailer for 2012. And the trailer for that starts with asteroids falling and hitting the cars. The trailer for 2012 starts with asteroids falling and hitting the cars.
Oh my God.
Like, the Deep Impact better has got Morgan Freeman in it, and already wins. Like, I don't understand why we need so much remakes. Like, well, that's it. The Halloween remake wasn't a remake, it was a sequel, which is fair enough. Still bad. Doesn't make it a good movie. Because I'm still partial to how the movies were made. Like, because we could get into the mess that is Star Wars as well. And
I've not even watched the new one because I didn't want to. I was like, I can't be
what I'll
bothered.
do after this is I'll send you Critical Drinkers review it, and you'll need to watch it. Like, honestly, you will waste fucking hours of your life watching that shit. Because when Force Awakens came out, I didn't mind it. And I think that was just a nostalgic part of me with the Star Wars. And also, did that come first or did Rogue One come first?
Force Awakens.
I think that came first, then Rogue One came out. Rogue One's a good fucking movie.
Good. Rogue One was really
That's a better movie than any of the newer Star Wars movies, and I will take that forever. Genuinely, the female actress that was the main basically plot point, basically very good. Very good. So I didn't really want to say what happened once again, but if you haven't seen Rogue One, definitely go your way to find it. It's an amazing watch. I think you can get quite.
It's really good. Yeah. And that's the thing. if you're watching like the full Star Wars story, Rogue One doesn't really ruin it
No,
as
that's
such. It adds an extra wee element to what you're watching, so
yeah.
it's a really good film.
But that's the thing as well. Like there's that, and then I still want the movie where between Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One, where Vader goes away to actually execute the rest of the Jedi. They could make a really cool concept. It doesn't even have to be a full movie. It could be like an episode. It's not because if you've not watched Mandalorian once again, watch it. I've watched season 1. We're ready to get to season 2. We were rewatching Doctor Who. I think we're gonna watch. We're doing a thing where like I'll pick a show, so we'll pick a show, and then we're going we're just watching that way. So we'll just catch up on stuff. Because we're going to watch Supernatural because I've only watched season 1 of it, and I was getting into it by the end, but then everything was rotating here in life, so I can had to leave it behind. But between that, I think we are going to start Mandalorian season 2 because Mandalorian was really fucking good. It's John Favreau. John Favreau's the director. Director. It's in Happy, as we know him. Fucking fantastic director. And the fact that I think he is new president of Lucasfilm. Don't quote me on that because it might be wrong, but if he's president of Lucasfilm, we might actually look up. Part of the problem is the Skywalker saga is pretty much dead in the water. They've ruined it. There's no saving it now. It's gone. It's like they could have. There's like my favorite character in the entire thing is Finn in the Dead Animal. The stormtrooper who defies authority is able to leave his escape and is able to fight back against the forces. That's a cooler story than what Rey has.
Oh yeah,
he's a better character than what Rey is, but they hardly use him. And then when they do use him, it's for comedic purposes, and he's a joke, a walking joke basically. And he's so much better. And I think John Favreau actually called him out on this. There's an interview saying you knew what to do with Daisy Ridley, you knew what to do with Adam Driver when it came to him. I think his name's John Boyega. It was like, fuck all, which they do. Like, he was put out in the trailer like he was going to be the main thing. The first thing you see in the trailer is him coming up with the stormtrooper outfit on, and it's no Tatooine, it's Jakku. So I thought he was going to be the main guy, and I was fine with that. I like the actor. I've watched a lot of stuff that he's been in. He's really good at it. So when it was made basically a counterpart to Rey and just a comedy piece, I was kind of like, well, what was the point? What was the point building your faith up in people? Why is Rey able to do everything when you've got Paul who can pilot really fucking well? You've got Finn who's a defiant soldier, and you've got Rey who's scrappy but really intelligent and can use her intuition well. Her upbringing should be the same. Like, she should be skilled and stuff, fair enough, but she shouldn't trust him right off the bat.
No.
Her parents left her when she was young, blah, blah, blah. So, you add to that, then she's not going to trust people. But, Rey seems to, she is very much a Mary Sue. There's no getting around the fact people can hate her if they want. She is. She's overpowered to hell, and she never does anything wrong, and she's never, ever hurt, and she never gets overwhelmed. And I don't understand why. First lightsaber battle, she's able to just beat Kylo Ren. So then why do we have to believe in Kylo Ren? This is what I mean. That's I'm all for female empowerment. I am.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's certain cases where it doesn't work.
There's a right way to do it, and then there's a wrong way to do it. And this isn't the problem here. Isn't they've done female empowerment wrong. They've just done the story wrong. Yeah. As you said, everybody comes into her life, and then she just trusts them. She just starts talking to them. It's that doesn't happen. That wouldn't happen.
It's not how it works either. It's not how life works. If that was a real life situation, that's how that would go.
And then, the last film, obviously, because I didn't watch it, but the one before that, and there was the thing where they've seen each other through the Force. Kylo Ren and Rey seen each other through the Force. What was that?
I don't know.
That's never happened before in the Star Wars universe.
But that's the thing. They've also overpowered the Force as well, because she's able to pluck spaceship in the air with that, whereas Yoda had to work his ass off to move an X-wing in a swamp. This is what I'm like. You didn't need to be this far in, because then people start believing this bullshit, and it is. But talk about female empowerment. It's like people talking about the female James Bond. I'm fine with it. But you cannot call it James Bond.
No,
you can't,
because she's not going to be James, is she?
Exactly. So this is what I mean. I'm sure people will comment and bullshit in this, but
Oh, probably, but I'm not
yeah,
bothered.
I'll tell you, like we have our beliefs and whatever. I'm
Aye.
not against. And that's the thing. The better movies in the 80s, 70s, 80s were almost indefinitely fucking female fronted. Alien.
Mhm.
Ripley's one of the
Like,
most badass female characters there has ever been.
yeah.
Sarah Connor, the original Sarah Connor for Terminator 1, becoming what she was in Terminator 2. Like, she's got one of the most badass action scenes, as far as I'm concerned, where she cocks the shotgun with one hand when her fucking
Yeah.
arms going to shit. Like,
Literally.
it's cool as hell. The original Tomb Raider, like, female empowerment has always been a thing, and you don't need to shove it in her throat. Doctor Who did it the wrong way. They could have silenced everybody, because everybody who instantly, like, they could have, for me personally, I think they should have chosen older women to play the Doctor. I feel like it would have
Yeah.
worked. Because I feel like experience-wise it works. And also, if you're going to go down the route, you're going to do like 12 female doctors, then William Hartnell started, he was older, and then they sort of go younger as it went on, go back older. So you do the same. There's a lot of older female actors that are fucking amazing that would have played that role or that.
Yeah.
And but there's a thing, I also wasn't against her playing, because she's a
No.
no bad. She's not a great actor. She's good. She's not great. But I understand why they chose her, whatever.
Mhm.
So, see, if they treated that with sensitivity, and they didn't, like, the entire show now is like all white males, or all males, for example, are idiots
Yeah.
and need approval on everything they do, and are stupid and don't understand things, and the females are generally smart and understand everything like that. Drop your hat, they understand everything, they're soldiers or whatever. And I'm fine with that as far as it goes, but shoving it in our throat that we're like
Yeah.
stupid. There's
Yeah.
actually a scene with that one with the 10 with children that they're, for some reason, the Yaz and the others, because there's Yaz, there's somebody else, and then there's fucking Bradley Walsh. Wow. Like, you want to talk about somebody who make a great doctor or a great master. You put him in the right circumstances, Bradley Walsh would actually be a really good comedic master and it would work.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should have went. But there's a bit where he basically can't get the cyber helmet off, and there's a full, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes scene of them basically laughing and take the piss out of him. And I'm kind of like, there you go. That's your problem right there. That right there. I don't understand why you needed to do that, but you did it. And how do you feel about yourself, basically? Like, I don't understand. But yeah,
And see, that's the thing. They force female empowerment down our throat, right? And that's fine, cool, go for it. But then they do stuff like that with the female character. They make her look daft in one scene, and then they're like, "Well, why did you bring her in? If you're going to bring her in to make her look daft, then what's the point?"
well, that's the thing as well. Like, Chris Chibnall, the one who writes it, like, his entire spiel every time she's been doctor. Like, by the way, apart from going to Gallifrey, they didn't ever go to any other planet. They just go back in Earth's history and try and change things. Which, by the way, is the first thing you don't do in time travel.
No,
Doctor Who's
because then that fucks up the future.
Yes.
Oh,
It's not to see back to the future. I'm guessing they have me.
fuck's
Once again, I don't get why I need to say this, but if you have not seen Back to the Future, definitely go watch it. Three of the best films that are ever made.
If you've not watched Back to the Future, like, by this point, do it. Because if we're talking about Back to the Future, there's not going to be any spoilers, because you should be watching it by now.
Yeah.
You should have seen that film fucking 6 times by now.
Yeah, exactly. But get back to what I was saying. Like, so we're going back. Like, they went back to America for the Rosa Parks thing. They went back to India and stuff. Like, cool, but like Doctor Who has generally got no ties to where it can go. It can literally go to the furthest reaches of time and space, because it's fucking time travel. It's anything's possible.
The Doctor regenerates into a different person every year.
Exactly.
Like,
it's like
that's as far-fetched as you can get.
Yeah, you've got endless possibilities. Just keep on going back into Earth's history for some reason, or Earth's future, and seeing the fact that global warming has destroyed everything, because that's a big theme in Doctor Who now, is global warming. And like TV and movies to me were always meant to take you out of realistic and real life situations. They were meant to give you some sort of escapism, so you can don't have to look at the news and stuff like that. But the problem is TV and movies, news shoving that in our throat. You can't get away from it.
Literally.
So,
There you go.
okay, right, cool. We're back. But we're just at the end, so yeah, I don't understand what happened. We'll have all this shit ironed out for next time. This is why I wouldn't do it live, because if I cut it, it would be a pain in the ass trying to get it back.
Did try and get back,
It was talking about sequels. We're talking Jurassic World. I remember coming to the cinema and obviously liking that movie, and then I met people asking me what I liked about it, and I couldn't name anything because I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. It was cool. I don't know. But then there's like, because there's a bit like, it's like, oh, these raptors have actually mauled thousands of people, but they've turned good again. So you've got to believe in them now. And I'm like, but they just mauled like bairns, like everybody. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. So yeah, think about it. And then I went back and watched Jurassic Park 1, and I'm like, no, Jurassic World's a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, that kind of annoyed me because that kind of broke the flow. Like I was going to have this conversation and then end, but broad ideas for everybody. But as I said, this time, so we'll make it. Well, I've got pen, pencil here. 2:15 every Monday. We'll do a podcast, stream, chat. What do I call it? I think. Would you call it a podcast? We're not big enough to call it a podcast yet.
I mean, what is a podcast? Sit and talk about random topics.
We'll watch on this shit and the shit. So like, I'll keep my ear to the ground about stuff that's been happening, so we have stuff to talk about as well. But before I go, because I do have stuff to go down, I need to go and get somebody because I get a printout. That's fucking return label, so I can return this goddamn microphone. It just annoys me. I waited so long for it to come and it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work.
Bullshit, man. Bullshit. But I'll have this new one soon. Next time, audio quality should be better. Or video quality should be better. Right, plugging stuff here, you know. I don't know why, but it makes me so happy. I've seen that so many times. I'm like, I get to plug stuff, guys. Right, once again, for the start, definitely go and subscribe to OnlyBoyle Productions. Makes review videos. Used to talk about football, so I'm guessing that'll come back. He's going to get into gaming. We're going to do this podcast every 2 weeks. We could do it every week if you wanted, but I feel like one of the talk we can do it every 2 weeks. And it might stick to a better schedule if we do it every 2 weeks. So yeah, we'll stick to that. So we'll be on here every 2 weeks. We might, once we get all the technical difficulties and everything else, and we will decide to go live probably. Try and work it out to do that. Maybe if I get a computer or whatever, there might be a way to do that. Maybe be a way for me to go live through the PlayStation. There might be a way to get Skype on that. That would be great because I can just connect the camera to that.
Yeah. I'll get my webcam for my PC. So
yeah, it's for that. But as I said, go and subscribe to OnlyBoyle Productions. Leave comments, leave likes, ring the bell to make sure that you know when there's a new video go up. He's been uploading quite a lot recently. As I said, there's reviews, there's try not to laugh. There's just a litany of stuff to get engrossed in. I know you will enjoy the content. I sure as hell do. It's very good, very well filmed, very high quality, and he's doing really, really well for himself. And it's good to see. And if you can't tell, we're brothers. We are of the same family. So yeah, we care a lot about each other. So I'm not just plugging him because it's my brother. I'm saying his content really is ace, and I think you should check it out. He covers a lot more mainstream music than I do, and I wouldn't say mainstream as far as like charts, but he definitely covers hip hop and stuff like that. I'm sure I'll get around to doing some of that eventually, but right now I'm trying to focus on getting the Spectrum Retreat stuff out. Good segue because this is where I start talking about me. But as I said before I go, definitely subscribe to him. Definitely go and at least check his channel out and definitely see what it is. And maybe give him recommendations of something to do because he does run out of ideas. So give him something he should run with. He's got, as I said, he might start getting into gaming. We're definitely going to do this podcast every second week. So there's a lot to look forward to. For me, on Friday, I will be starting a new thing called Underappreciated Fridays. I will be talking about underappreciated artists and albums, maybe even underappreciated games and films. Just something that comes to my mind if I've been looking the week and I find something. Music definitely started off because it seems to be where everything started with my channel, so it feels like the best place to start a new program, basically. This week, I will be doing a band called Submerged, an album called In Due Time. They do have 2 albums, and the second one, Immortalized, is great. But In Due Time is where everything started. And the album was actually produced by Matt Tremonti, and I know probably a lot of people watching this will know who that is, so you definitely tune in on Friday. Today, by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow, because uploading speed's a bit weird now, I will have the second episode up for Spectrum Retreat. This one's a lot longer because I get further into stuff. The puzzles are a lot more complex. There's a lot more story beats. So definitely pay attention to that. And I will have the review for Smile Into Soul's album EP called 2020 coming out on Wednesday. I have already done the reaction videos, and I will link them down below if you want to check them out. And I just want to thank you all for watching and subscribing to my channel. I know I'm new here, I'm learning the ropes, but my quality, I'm trying to improve on every day. I'm trying to improve on the way I create videos every day. I'm trying to improve the speeds on which I can put videos out to you guys, and I hope you do enjoy the content.
So this probably won't go on my channel because the audio on mine didn't work. So by next week, when I get the webcam and everything else, I'll be fine. We'll have audio. We'll be fine. But I've been glad to have Callum, Boyle Review Productions, let me join in on the podcast and the talk, because it's been a lot of fun. And as I said, we'll get moving into stuff like every second week. So we'll check out his content, very high quality and very consistent for starting out on YouTube, and it's only going to get better from here, because as I said, he's getting a microphone, he's getting his webcam, he's getting everything else. His quality is going to skyrocket. So check out everything he does, subscribe to him, turn on his post notifications, because that's when you know when he uploads. Like his videos, comment on his videos, share his videos anywhere that you want, and just give him the recognition he deserves.
Sorry, I know that was a segue to end it, but that was really bad. I'll get better at this. But I will link his channel down below as well. You definitely should check it out. As I say, he creates his own music. There's an entire album on there. He released a single not long ago. I understand he has music coming. He is not given the date, but I know there's music coming, so definitely keep an eye on it. That'll be a good reason to ring the notification bell on his channel to see when it goes live. But definitely check out the stuff that's there. It's great. Very, very good at what he does, and I think you definitely should check out. As I said, it'll be linked down below. Wednesday, I will be going live with Prey on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure when. It may be later on in the day, it may be early, but I will be going live with Prey. I'm not going to do any more Destiny live streams because I feel like too many people cover that, and it just doesn't make sense to go down that rabbit hole right now. So if you haven't seen Prey, it's actually technically a reboot of an old game that was completely different. I'm not going to go into it because I want you to be there and witness it for yourselves. And then obviously, if you miss the live stream, it gets re-uploaded, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a survival. I would say a survival horror game mixed with sci-fi in one of the best ways possible. Very interesting, very different ways to go. But before I play it, if you ever wanted to check it out by yourself, I will link somewhere where you can get the game down below. I will link trailers. I just want people to recognize good games that never got recognized. I want people to recognize music that never got recognized. That was one of the main reasons for starting a channel. I started off with Smile Into Soul because it's a band I've loved since I was a kid, and they never got recognition, and I feel like they should have. So the fact that those videos have already got so many views, and I hope that the review gets so many views as well, I thank you all so much. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up there because if I don't, I will not stop talking. I've got really good at talking to myself, so that is a very good thing. But I'll have all links underneath his channel, anything that's coming up from me. If the Spectrum Retreat video is actually uploaded before this is, I will have that linked down below or up in the cards column. But I want to thank you all for watching. I don't know if I was the host or he was the host, but I'm in the stream. But thank you all for watching. We will see you next time. And goodbye.
See you later.
See you later.